Привет из Дубая. С вами передача «Голубь мира», где разбираем крутые навыки. Спрашиваем на английском, отвечаем на русском. Подтягивайте язык или смотрите перевод в тайм-кодах. Let's talk about blog and let's start with the definition.
Blog, this is short version of phrase business log. So this is about how you feel yourself when you're doing business, and you can write this down on the paper, post in social network, or create a video. And there are a lot of people who call themselves bloggers. So they go online each day and they show how do they unpack new things, how they go into shopping, how they go into some meetings, or maybe walking on the streets. And there are a lot of people who like to see it. You know, it's very funny. It's a kind of exhibitionism when you are trying to make something which what is usually you do at your home, but you film it. A lot of people look at it. There is for sure no reason to think that this is very similar to OnlyFans. There is another way. OnlyFans, this is when girls strip themselves down and they make filming for some men who may make for them donation. Bloggers not each time ask for money, but usually they say, okay, if you are able, give us donuts and it will help us to buy new equipment and we will improve our quality of sound or video.
And when it comes to the building parts or maybe even the principles of like what is the meaning of the efficiency blog, what are they?
You know, let me tell you a short story. We have one patient. It's a woman, and she come to our dentistry almost 1 month to do some tooth routines, and she has a small profile in Instagram, approximately 700 subscribers, and she write on the header of this page, a very bad blogger. You know, to become blogger, there is not about your efforts. You could create good photos, you could create very smart post, but people will not follow you. It's not about to be famous, it's about to be interesting. For example, if you have like 1 million subscribers, yes, they will follow you and they will see all your affairs, and they will comment and they will put you hearts and finger up because they like the way you live, the way you talk, the way you behave. But it's very important not to mix by places what is first. First is your success, and then you will be followed. So it's not about quality of your stuff, it's about your luck.
So then some people probably might be thinking like, if I want to do the blog first, like what is the reason to do this? And second one, like how exactly, what I can reveal, how should I think about like putting out my content? Or maybe there should be something else. Instead of like thinking about the content, you actually think about maybe the use case that you want to, or project that you want to address, and then maybe tell a story. So what should be the mindset of the person who even like started have a distant idea about starting their blog?
A lot of people enter social networks just to see how all other people live, and when they see that you will write something very pleasant, they will think maybe I also should write a blog or make some pages or channels. Maybe I also will get support in words and so on, or even in money. And they first start to write comments, to put hearts and some other marks to make reactions, and suddenly they realize maybe I also could post some photos, some text, and so on, and they start. But you know, I read about 2 years ago research about how many websites on the planet, and I learned that there is more than 9 billion sites, and in average each site is visited by after and also 3 men plus during the month. So almost all sites are empty. The same with profiles in social networks and in blogs, in live journals. So no. If you remember, there were a network which was called Live Journal, and if you have like 1,000 views per your post, you were very lucky. But if you will go, for example, to Instagram, you will find that some people, even neighbor who lived two floor above me, he earned like 19 million subscribers, and usually he show everything, even how he use our elevator and throw his garbage.
But then how to find this border? And again, like it's not only about the personal posting, but let's say even the work posting, where you actually focusing rather than on the things that you really do, or maybe the things that you want to reveal to the open to the public, because at the end of the day you might be really living just like for the posting, and apparently the content might be shallow. So how to find this balance and whether it's really necessary to look for it?
First time you will make your posting in your blog, video blog, or so-called vlog in a very chaotic way. You will make it like once per week or once per 2 weeks, but then you will realize that you should create some kind of story. For example, you will come daily and picture sunset or sunrise. Maybe you will show daily your child or your cat, or maybe you will make a photo of your lovely jellyfish in the aquarium, and people will tell you and they will say, okay, that is interesting or this is not interesting. Maybe you're trying to grow your muscle, maybe you try to grow a flower on the pot, on the подоконник.
Probably some like an area near windows. Need to think about this one.
Okay, I also forget. It's like shelf under the window. So if people will see that there is a rare plant and it gives flowers, they will be happy and you will get a lot of reactions. But better if you have something special in your life. If you are so-called insider, for example, you are a fisherman who daily could make photo of the latest catch, and there are ugly fishes, big fishes, and strange fishes. Or maybe you are an astronaut and you can make photo of different countries when there is not too many clouds close to the space station. Or maybe you are a realtor and you are going to show some villas with fascinating swimming pools. So if you have such a content, it is good. For example, my wife also, she thinks that she is blogger, but she has a very limited account with subscribers, but she has access to people who previously had a bad teeth, and maybe кривые, curved, and maybe ill teeth, and after she makes photo with veneers, lumineers, and some else.
And actually, when it comes to the content, obviously there might be like a different audience, and like might be different ways to interact with them. So what should be, let's say, if you want to foster, if you want to, like provide the value to our audience, like what should be the tone and voice? What should be our approach when it comes to dealing with negativity? Like how we should like even think about putting our words for in our responses.
You ask very important question, and I'm happy to answer them. For example, I also have a blog or even several blogs in different networks. I put different stuff. For example, pupils of School of Troubleshooters, they write articles which I like a lot, and I put them in Facebook, in LinkedIn, and ВКонтакте. And sometimes I got bad comments and I rapidly remove them out, try to wipe them out, because I don't want to create so-called hell in the comments. If I will allow people to write something bad, they will feel that, okay, it's a place where I could write down my anger. The same with our podcasting team, with our videos, which we film almost daily. I also delete comments if they will interfere with person, with, for example, Maxim Golub or with me. But if people angry about theme, about our pronunciation, about our definition, I never clean it out.
And probably maybe to add on top of that, because sometimes you might not be dealing with the comments, but you might be dealing with the systematic, like a bad, like a non-toxic comments. So what might be the approach? Because let's say from a certain point of time, we also may be thinking that complaints might be a gift, but sometimes probably you also might be thinking, do I really need to have like a such gifts, etc.? So what should be the approach here, like when there is a constant or like a systematic waves?
First, you should understand this is a very huge amount of work. Right now, I am writing down in 11 networks, and usually I write something about 25,000 comments per year. And if you will calculate, it's take me like several whole days just writing it down. So I spend usually first part of Saturday just to write a lot of comments. Sometimes it's like 800 or 500. And sometimes I think, is it worse? But when we create our filming we think about people who live very far from capital, and maybe they have no money, maybe they have no experience. You are a lucky person. You have been living to Singapore. Now you are live in Dubai, and some of your thoughts, some of your even pronunciation is so important for people who live too far to visit the country you have already been.
And well, yeah, it's sometimes I do believe there should be some sort of like a responsibility to whatever you're saying, that like every word should be like actually counted and like weighted too many times before it's being pronounced. But then it's also like the mediums that you're using to express yourself. So for example, maybe on LinkedIn, at a certain point of time, we might be considering it as a blogging platform, or maybe like there are other platforms. So I remember at one of the skills you were saying that it's good to have like a terminate platform, like where everything ends. So should it be the approach like when it comes to blogging as well, or we should kind of like a spread ourselves thin, like post somewhere, but like don't really have, I would say, like a virtual home for us?
You're quite right. I always tell to the people of School of Troubleshooters that you should use terminal platform. For example, even now I have some restrictions from YouTube, and even I could lost my channel. And this is quite common. For example, you write something in LinkedIn, in Facebook, in Instagram, or you film something in YouTube, but policy of these networks do not like what you do. And it doesn't matter how many viewers you have or subscribers. You will be cross out, and you will have no possibility, for example, to download video, to make some posting on, to share links. But if you have access to any site, for example, we use site of School of Troubleshooters, we hope that it would not be deleted or taken out. But any network you have never paid for could take everything from you without any hesitation.
And the last question will be how knowing about blog would help to make this world a better place.
I read several blogs previously about some guy who in Russia created a chain of pizza making studio, so-called Dodo Pizza. I was reading some blogs of a person who built roads and bridges, and it's very funny. They write very, very strictly and very plain text how they deal with, for example, bribers, how they deal with police forces, how they deal with governors. And when I read this, I could remember the same cases in my life, but I was afraid to write it down because I was thinking maybe it's not worth it. Yes, I don't like to say about my fuck ups, but I have them a lot. But these people, they are outrageous. And they not hypocritic. They just write everything down, and it's make me feel that they do really good job for people who maybe think, should I go to create my own business?
Читайте и вдохновляйтесь, и вы становитесь знаменитым автором. А мы рассмотрели навык блогинг и чем он полезен именно вам. С тем мира.